오늘 할 게임은 에디스 핀치라는 게임이에요. 스토리 형식으로 풀어나가는 게임이라고 하는데 어떤 게임인지 제가 해보도록 하겠습니다. 네, 지금 게임 시작된 거예요. 이게 볼 수 있고 에디스 핀치.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
당길 수가 있고.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
와, 이쁘다. 뭐야?
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately. I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
안녕하십니까?
In her will, my mother left me a key but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
달리진 못하네.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
키가 작나봐 주인공이. 오. 나 저기로 가면 안 돼? 따라가진 못하네.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
오, 이거 글씨 나레이션이 되게 특이하다.
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it. As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
미싱이라고 뭐가 돼 있네? 미싱?
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't.
아이고. 그러면은 주변에서 찾아봐야 되나 보다. 아, 여기 열쇠인가 보다. 여기 열쇠 아니야? 뭔가 소리가 나오고 있어. 어디 열쇠일까 그러면?
I heard something moving around in the garage.
아, 이거 이 소리구나.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11. The power had been turned off the night we left.
김치냉장고. 여기서 문은 이제 못 여나? 아, 못 여네. 되게 이런 게 많다. 씨앗 같은 건가? 집이 되게 취미가 많은 듯한 그런 느낌? 여기는 뭐 특별하게 건들 수 있는 게 없네? 이런 것도 못 건드고. 이것도 상호작용이 안 뜨고.
For the first time in years, I felt like I was home. But instead of a family, there were just memories of one. Like how after Louis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly. Or how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot.
또 와, 집이
The table
모든
was still a wreck from the night we left. It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
집이 뭔가 장난이 아니네.
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great Grandma Edie living in a nursing home. Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth. Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
오, 이거 연출이 상당한데? 집 잘 꾸며놨다. 응? 뭔가 그 사람의 한 인생이 다 담긴 듯한 느낌? 아, 잠깐만.
Great Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house. My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
실종됐나 봐. 뭐야 이건? 수상한 문이 있다? 용접을 해놨네?
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
집이 약간
Mom
뭔가
always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
집이 뭔가 막 많은데 지저분해 보이지 않고 뭔가 나름 감성을 갖춘 느낌. 와, 이거 뭐야? 책이 무슨
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
그래서 문에 구멍이 있던 거구나. 야, 액자 크기도 되게 다양하다.
Edie's father Odin built the original house.
뭐가 전선이 연결돼 있는데?
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
아, 그리고 한글화도 되게 잘 돼 있네. 우와, 뭐야?
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up. Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
오, 맞네.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door.
우와.
Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead. I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole.
그러다 보면 구멍.
Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage. Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
되게 소품들이 아기자기 끝판왕이네.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
그 시점이
My
됐나 봐.
Halloween candy was all gone. The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
크리스토퍼를 어? 크리스토퍼를 뭐라고 써있는 거지? 이 당시에는 앞 풍경이 지금이랑 많이 다르네.
I kept eating and eating.
뭐야? 치약이야?
I ate a lot of things that night.
어? 이
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat. I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared. Mom and Dad didn't even look at me. I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits.
어딨어 토끼.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
또 뭘 잡으려고 그래?
A mama rabbit.
엄마 토끼?
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
이게 상상력이 아닌가 봐. 얘 가문의 능력이 있는 게 아닐까?
I rolled off the cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever. I wanted fat, juicy seals. I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
거기서
Grabbed on tight. When I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
뭐야? 어디로 가야 돼? 어디로 가야 돼?
Now I was a monster and I smelled people everywhere.
아 이거 뱀이 아닌데? 이거
was
뱀이
big,
아니잖아.
but I moved real quiet.
뱀이 아니야 이거는.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't. After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And to cross the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
아 그래서 집에서 먹을 거를 제한을 했나 보다. 이런 능력이 있어가지고.
I got closer and closer.
뭐야?
All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have. I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors.
문 열렸는데? 아, 문 내가 연 거구나. 아까 여기 상호작용 안 봤는데?
I can't describe it, but I felt like some part of Molly was still here. This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
그럼 새끼
I
고양이
spent a lot of time in
관련이
Great Grandma
있을까?
Edie's room. We got along, and it was a good place to hide from my mom. When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't. even in her 90s. Sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
여기도 뭔가 많아. 소품들이.
Broomstick Museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
끝났네?
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
이 가문의 비밀이 뭔가 있나봐. 알 수 없는 비밀이. 헐. 이건 뭐야?
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace. There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
와, 뭐야?
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down. From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
연출력 진짜 뭐지? 줄이 쳐 있어. 뭔가 아까 얘기랑은 다른 형제 같은 애가 있는데? 커맨드 센터.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin, and that he never talked about him.
커맨드 센터에 올라가?
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. and he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that,
Calvin! I'm not gonna tell you again!
maybe if the wind hadn't picked up,
안돼.
then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother. The day he made up his mind to fly, and he did.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing. After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
죽었나 보다. 아까 그 사건으로.
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
여기도 막아놨네. 여기 보면은 키가 자라다가 이 케빈은 키가 이제 못 자라게 된 거네. 소품 하나하나가 대단한데? 뭐야 여긴? 다시 여기로 나가야 되나? 뭔 소리지? 나갈 수는 없는 것 같고. 뭔가 다른 거를 또 주사해야 될 것 같은데? 뭘 더 봐야 될까? 여기서 더 볼 건 없는 것 같은데? 더 볼 건 없고. 오. 대박인데 진짜? 뭐지? 대박이다.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
여기 나갈 수 있고.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
바바라. 바바라 광팬이네?
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards. Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
저 아까 그
20
오르골이잖아요.
minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent. She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
뭐야?
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
여기에 뭔가 있어.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear!
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
또 이거 들고 가? 어디야 이번엔? 아까 2층으로 올라가야 되잖아. 이거 되게 플레이 방식이 굉장한데?
Walter, are you there? Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
That night, she played her part beautifully.
이거 지금 만화에 있는 것도 제가 조작하는 거예요 지금?
She thought about abandoning Walter, but just couldn't do it.
그러면은 일로 나가야 되나?
Ollie's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges grow. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet. The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was... At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. she had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear.
아이고.
Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
근데 이게 왠지 실제 같은 그런 느낌? 어디 문이 열리는 소리가 나는데?
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box. Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
뭐 오르골을 확인을 해봐야겠네. 아까 끝까지 돌리면은 열쇠가 된다고 했잖아요. 신기의 방기. 똑같네. 아까 그 만화랑.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot. I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
냉장고다.
I
아까
thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
뭐야?
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If
헐.
there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
월터가 있던 장소네.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal.
올리기 빡세.
Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped.
이 애도 피부가 안 좋아.
Whatever that thing was,
아까 그 몰리처럼.
maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid.
아까 몰리도 피부가 이랬거든요.
It's been a week now. The
엄청.
longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can.
뭐야? 그런 거 집이 완전 무슨
I know it's out there somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly and Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month. Or a single week. I'd be happy with one more day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
월터는
Walter
기찻길에
died
죽은
when I
거야?
was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was dead.
아. 굉장히 오래 있던 거네.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
왜 굳이 거짓말을 한 걸까?
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter.
뭐야? 방향키를 아래로 눌렀는데 위로
But
해야지
she never
내려가네.
told me about an uncle under the house. I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made.
야, 이게 굴을 팔고 30년 동안 살아온 거야, 그러면?
Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe two, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
아, 여기 묻혔네. 철도는 끊겼고.
I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family.
이건 뭐야?
And the history you're a part of.
여기로 한번 가봐야겠다. 그러니까 뭐 때문에 다 숨기려고 했을까?
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now.
굳이 지하에 살고 있는 삼촌을?
I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
가는 곳은 아니고 저 위로 올라가야 되나봐요.
And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible. I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house? It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one.
야,
3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault.
뭐야? 오덤을 이렇게 다 모아놨네.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
몰리 핀치. 아까 몰리가 그 변신하는 여자애였잖아요. 고양이가 돼 있네. 켈리, 헐빈, 핀치. 아까 로켓 날아간다고 해갖고 그네줄로 해놓고. 에디 핀치, 월터 핀치. 아까 기찻길에서 죽은 바바라.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
이걸로 한번 보자.
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
저게 가라앉았다는 집이거든. 이거 말고 다른 건 못 보는구나. 돌아가야겠다.
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better. She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us. There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now.
집안 사람들이 다
Part of me
특이하네.
thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself. But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
임신한 상태야? 어디로 가야 돼? 아래로? 아니고. 아, 저기 사다리 있구나.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense.
쌤.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
Shouldn't we be leaving?
Just want to get a shot of you, Dawn, then we can take off. Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? Please just take the damn picture.
Hey, language.
Did you want to get a picture of me or what? Come on already.
어디를 찍어야 되는 거지? 뭔가 찍어야 되는데? 어딜 찍어야 될까?
I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
잠깐만. 기다려. 아!
Hold
Oh
still while I
my
take
God.
pictures of
I definitely won't be moving.
you. Are you done?
Hey!
That's a keeper.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Don. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Don, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Don, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph? Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire. We found an old logging trail. There were deer everywhere.
Dad!
Good eyes, Don. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad, I...
Just... Let me get behind you.
do I have to do this?
Don, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Great shot, Don! I'm proud of you, Don. Always remember that, okay?
내가 슬퍼하네.
Sorry, Don. Just gotta reset the timer.
뭐야? 아빠 왜 저럼? 아빠 이상한데?
Hang on, kiddo. Just trying to get a shot of the two of us together.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally normal, Don. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
어!
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
거기서 떨어져서 그러면 죽었나 봐. 지금 50년에 살아서 태어나서 83년에 죽었으면은
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
각종 훈장들이 있고 막.
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
그러니까 사냥을 즐겨하던 그런 사람이네.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
뭐야?
Watching's over, Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie. Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I wonder what he saw.
어?
What his world was like.
내가 개구리 조종하는 거임.
He reminded me so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination. Whatever it was he saw. It sure made him happy.
뭐야? 왠지 저거를 건드려야 될 것 같은 느낌? 아닌가? 아닌가 보다. 알파벳 다 떨어뜨려. 이거 아래 거를 물을 빼야 될 것 같은데? 빼는 방법은 모르겠음. 오케이. 역시 방법이 있었네.
I know how silly it sounds. But But I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it. Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
애들이 다 살아있나 봐. 여기 집안은 뭔가 다 비밀이 마법이 존재하나?
I wish he could have told us about the world he saw. There's so much I don't understand about Gregory, about everything.
뭐야?
But I know what happened wasn't your fault. I'm sure he's happy. And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
그럼 애가 저렇게 없어진 거야? 가족이 다 뭔가 독특한 능력이나
I can't imagine my mom ever
그런
writing
것 때문에 다
poetry.
사라져 버렸네.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
글씨 다 못 봤는데 흑흑. 뭐야? 글씨가 아 이걸 뒤집는 거구나.
My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom were the words that I
now pronounce you husband and wife. Make him cry.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger.
못된 녀석이구만.
The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
어딨어? 글씨.
Rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder." I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
뭐야, 다 죽었어. 특별한 사연으로 다 죽어. 이건 뭐야? 플레이밍? 연이 있다. 돌아가야 되나? 뭔가 다른 건 없나?
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
와우.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
여기가 이제 엄마인가 엄마인가 보다.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Louis was born a year later.
연출력이 대단한 것 같긴 대단한 것 같아.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal. But it didn't last.
뭐야?
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle. After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
뭐가 있을 것 같은데? 뭐 없나? 또 비밀이 있을 것 같은데. 여기 있다.
I think Edie was happy to finally have another painter in the family.
그림 은근 느낌이 있다 이거.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
응? 어떻게 하는 거지? 와, 씨. 실화냐?
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
뭐야, 그러면 내려가면 되나?
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
없는 듯?
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
위로 올라가면 돼.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Louis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
여길로.
Louis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
뭐야?
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Louis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Louis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander. I asked him to describe
뭐야,
it.
도작을 동시에 해야 돼.
He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play.
뭐야? 연출력 뭐야 도대체?
About starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis.
야, 이건 뭐 진짜
He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis, until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on.
그러니까 항상 상상을 너무 하는 거지.
Rumors of a beautiful prince. The prince was on his own quest for
사악한 뱀.
sinister serpents. He followed the sound of his
언자 시타르.
electric sitar. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination.
고등어 쌓인다.
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me.
컨트롤을 동시에 하니까 쌓이고 있어. 아, 현실로 왔네. 이거 아까 집에 걸려 있던 거다.
Began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt. I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him. Waiting, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do. I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
미친. 상상에 빠져서 정신이 어떻게 돼버렸구먼. 그러니까는 이 가문의 사람들은 평범하게 죽은 사람들이 한 명도 없는 거야 지금.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left. My mom ended up leaving everything behind. What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner. But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now was to tell you about that last night.
옛자리구나.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around. For a while, I wandered. I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me.
아, 이게 바다에 가라앉아
Or maybe
있던 거구나.
I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go. I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the band came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it.
이 손을 내가 조종해야 돼.
A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it, but she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you. And tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
에디스도 죽은 거야 그러면? 와, 이안 달라스 크리에이티브 에이터. 테크니컬 디렉터, 리드 아티스트. 다 애기 사진을 걸어놨네? 그러면은 결국 저 다이어리를 발견한 것 자체가 마지막 핀치 가문의 인물이 죽었다는 얘기네? 야, 연출력 하나 진짜 대박이다 이건. 아까 이 이야기가 진행되는 모든 모션이 제가 조작해야 되는 모션이기 때문에 뭔가 연출력이 좀 독특하다, 잘했다, 이렇게 좀 표현할 수 있겠네요. 물론 대사가 엄청 많이 나오기 때문에 제가 코멘트 칠 게 없지만은 제가 대사를 칠 만한 뭐 그런 틈이 많이 안 나오는 그런 게임인데 어쨌든 보고 있으면은 색감이나 이런 것들이 굉장히 좋다. 이런 거 마지막 이 마지막도 괜찮다. 다 어린애 사진으로 이렇게 올려놓는 거 보니까. 그러니까 이 한 가문이 저무는 거를 이제 표현을 한 건데, 뭐 물론 특이한 가문이긴 한데 이거를 약간 좀 굉장히 독특하게 만들었는? 어떻게 보면 상상력이 굉장한 거죠. 이야기 진행 방식도 그 사라진 인물 하나하나가 진행 방식이 다 다르게 표현을 하는 거니까 그냥 귀엽다. 근데 역시 건의 나라. 쟨 체스 졌네. 표정 보니까. 그러니까 색감도 좋고. 플레이 테스터도 나오네. 아까 나왔던 모든 소품들이 다 나오네? 와, 5년 만들었어. 여기 다 나오네. 그러면은 아까 루이스는 상상력 때문에 자살하고 밀트는 사라지고, 뭐야, 버스는 폭풍에 날아가고, 애기는 욕조에 빠지고, 월터는 기찻길에 치이고, 샘은 사냥하다가 떨어지고, 켈빈 날아가고, 바바라는 괴물한테 먹히고. 뭐야, 가문이 아무튼 좀 독특하게 마감을 했네요. 에디스는 그러면은 그냥 아직 살아있는 걸로 나오네? 자, 더 에디스 핀치 이렇게 게임을 마무리했는데요. 색감도 그렇고 약간 좀 꽤 긴 동화책을 읽은 듯한 느낌? 눈으로? 굉장히 좋게 게임을 한 것 같습니다. 네, 재밌겠습니다. 좋습니다.